Yeah, go on.
Shalom. All praises Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS, and honors out to the brothers doing the work in sincerity and truth. My name is Amarv Kwan, and this is a video on the topic of building up in the spirit and putting off carnality. Brother, get the first scripture, please.
So the first scripture is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith.
Right, so you have to examine yourself on a daily basis, whether you be in the faith, in sincerity, man. And faith, according to the scriptures, we're going to get that now.
So that the second scripture, I'm just going to grab that now. So that, is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, which is, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So what we're going through right now is putting off the carnality, which is the latter part of the title. Read that again, bro.
Let me just grab that again. So Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, and it reads, now faith is the substance of things not... one second. Hebrews 11 and 1, it reads, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right, so that's plain, man. Things that you don't see, all right? And how do you, with the carnality, which is the physical or the flesh, when you are about the flesh, you're gonna miss all the spiritual aspects of what the scripture is saying, which is faith being the predominant thing. You're gonna need to have faith in things that you don't see. Go on to the next scripture, bro.
This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 9. Wherewith shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word.
Right, so how are you going to cleanse your way? By the word, all right? And how you build yourself up in faith is by having understanding of the scriptures, the true understanding, all right? Which you have to have teachers, you know, to break it down correctly, understanding the precepts and what the scriptures are actually saying.
So the next scripture is Jeremiah chapter 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
Right, man, and that's a key example that by knowing the word, you're going to learn that your mind, which the heart there is talking about your mind, and your mind is desperately wicked, all right? And that's how you cleanse your way, by reading the word and understanding or remembering the old paths. So if you move on to the next scripture, because your mind will tell you to do impulsive things, but then if you know the scriptures, you'll know that you can't do things off a whim or things that are lustrous, you know, or sensual. You really have to not be like a beast and have the law, which is a part of the word, all right, and live according to it, man. So really it's about meditating on the word.
And this is Jude verse 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believe not.
Right, because those people that believe not were led by their hearts, you know. You got a saying that I go by my heart, and these people's hearts are desperately wicked. And those are the same people that got destroyed, all right? But the people that lived in the spirit, if you read it again.
So this is Jude verse 5. I'm going to read it. This is Jude verse 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this.
So we're being put in remembrance. Now if we go on to the next scripture, bro. Because what we're being put in remembrance is through having the word and keeping faith, the Lord will reveal things to you on which path you should take, on a spiritual path, all right? This world is only very physical, very carnal, and the laws that they keep are against this Bible, which are really for our downfall. That's why anytime you see shops and things like that, they aspire to what? The eyes. People want to be like what they see on TV because it's all carnal. Read on.
This is Colossians chapter 3 verse 8. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath.
So this is a list of the things that you need to put off, all right, and have in your mind, all right, rather than the lust of this world. Read on.
But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath.
So you need to put off anger, which is the point is about this list is you're supposed to have righteous anger, but in the anger about not being prosperous in this world, you don't need it, man. Or being angry against a brother, wicked in a wicked sense. You know what I mean? That's not what this word's about. It's about having a clean mind. All right, and this is a list of what you don't want to be.
So it's anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
Right, and going into the filthy communication, you know, the types of people that look up to false prophets. They say, what's his name, Bob Marley, a prophet. All these different musicians, especially among the Benjamite society, they act like they're prophets in the music industry. And people listen to their music and they learn adultery, and they continue talking them same things. That's one of them filthy conversations. Even filthy conversation is once you understand the scriptures, you know who your forefathers were and the practices and customs of how they lived. All right, and it was contrary to the way we live today. So that's the remembrance of how we're supposed to live in comparison to those people that are living today. Read on.
So we'll continue on with that.
Yeah.
And verse 9, lie not to one another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds.
Right, the old man is the way you used to live before you come into this truth. All right, and the way we used to live was loose. That's why we became a no people. All right, but that's why we're coming into remembrance and learning this word, you know, to rehearse the righteous acts, man.
And it says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
So the new man is a man that studies and learns the scriptures and holds fast which he has. You know?
Next week.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is...
continue on the next scripture one moment. So putting off that old body, that old person, man, that's very important when you come into this truth in order to be an example unto other men that come into the truth. Otherwise, you look at other examples like Nate Satan, you know, Comfy and all them, man, they really ain't put off that old man. That's why they continue in their ways and go against the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and also the true doctrine of the scriptures, which goes into Galatians 1 and 5, I believe, or 6, where it speaks about I marvel how you so far removed unto another gospel, you know, which is the same gospel, but they put philosophies on it.
The next scripture is Ephesians chapter 4 and 22, that you put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Right, because we all had our own understanding, or so-called understanding, when we was brought into this world, that we was taught in our youth. But then we really have to put away all that old so-called knowledge and really become into this truth as a babe. All right.
And it says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, man. All right.
And that you put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Right. Read that part again, bro.
1 second, let me grab that. So, it says, verse 25, and that, verse 24, and that you put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Right. So that's plain to the point. If you move on.
Go on. So this is Jude.
So that's what you want to exceed to. That's the level you want to progress to, man. You want to be blameless.
Go on. This is Jude 15. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
Salakia.
Jude verse 15.
1 and 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, read that again.
To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, right, and their mouth speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage.
Right, such people like Nate Satan, man, because of the philosophies that they teach, you know, as if the word was, you know, as if the word is incorrect, man, which is consistent from Old Testament to New Testament. That's why You got certain people who wear certain garments to look, where people look at them in admiration, but they're not teaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Continue.
That same one, yeah. Or
Yeah.
shall I move? Verse 16d. So verse 17, but the love of the remember that he was.
No, move on, bro.
Move on, yeah. Alright, so next scripture on the list is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15. And it reads 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Right, man. So you're supposed to rightly divide the word of truth, and those guys that are teaching the false doctrines like Nate Satan, if you look online, you'll find out a whole different thing about the chip, okay, and various different things, man. But for lack of time, we're gonna continue, man. You're supposed to study to show yourself approved. That way, you won't make mistakes, too many mistakes while you're in this truth, especially mistakes that shouldn't be made.
And this is
So
Acts.
the whole point of that is knowing, as the scripture says, Yahushua was an austere man. So the point is you're supposed to be serious in this truth, and other brothers that come in will see the seriousness and the solemnities which we practice.
So this is Acts chapter 17 and 10. And the brethren immediately sent Paul away to Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were noble men. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica.
Right. So this is an example of men that you should, in the past, a remembrance of men in the past of how they lived. Read that line again.
These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched the scriptures daily.
Right, so you go into the etymologies of words, the Greek, the Latin, the Hebrew, and use Blue Letter Bible and so forth, and keep your stirring up your pure mind. Read on.
Whether those things were so. Therefore many of them believed also of honourable women, which were Greeks, and of men not a few.
Right, so you had Paul in the ancient times, and now you have apostles, Elder Tahar on down, and honourable brothers, which are doing this work in sincerity and truth, continuing in the faith as Paul did. Read on.
I think that's the point, isn't it?
Yep. Any more on that?
I've got the last scripture.
Oh, Psalms, yeah.
So this is Psalms chapter 37 and 16. Let me just quickly grab it. So this is Psalms chapter 37 and 16. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked.
Right, man. The riches, the righteousness that a man has is very important, man. So you're not supposed to want to aspire to this, the riches of this society. You're supposed to have your mind on the riches like Moses had in the time of Egypt, where the Lord was with him because he had faith and believed in the higher power, man, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, read that one more time. I'm going to end it on that.
It says, a little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked.
Right, so when you come into this truth, be serious, as Yahushai was an austere man. And with that was building up in the spirit and putting off carnality. And I'm going to say shalom.
Shalom.